Actually, jumping off of that, that was where I was going to go next. Maybe stepping away from a business perspective.
Talking about my kids.
No, on a more personal level, how do you think it has affected you, family-wise, home-wise? I know this is what a lot of people have. There's very, what is it? The two pathways of opinions that you were mentioning before. There's a positive aspect to it and a negative aspect to how this has affected the home situation.
I get all mushy and emotional now. I guess we all sort of realize time more than anything is something we need to embrace and live in, not sort of chasing something in the future or the past. For a family, I think I made a decision a long time ago to push my kids into green school, because I think that was a good move, and I thought that was changes that was going to come, that eco-social sustainability and so on was going to be wanted values, and it already was then, but that was going to be even further needed. And I think for my kids now, that the world is here, it's open for them to go and do what they were set to do and have been educated to do.
Any input from?
No, I think it's an interesting question. I think it's not an easy. It's not easy for people to spend lots of time locked up together.
Yeah.
I think that's actually probably one of the most difficult aspects of it. But again, everything for a reason, right? I mean, it's kind of like, what do you do if you're all locked in a room together? You're going to beat each other up and shout and scream, or you're going to look at different ways you can paint the walls. It's yeah.
So kind of taking that and then looking at it in the connections between you and your partners, employees. I think that this time all locked in together has also been great for opening up conversations and better learning how to communicate with each other and understand each other. Do you see that happening within the company as well, like within?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, very
much. The Legal Eagle team that we've got is outstanding. Actually, they've grown a lot, right? In the year that we've had them there. They, from the days that we interviewed them, and they weren't particularly outgoing, but there was definite potential and attitude, things that we liked about them. Compared those guys that walked into that interview to now, and they're obviously the same people, obviously, but they are much more confident in their own abilities. They are much more communicative with us and with each other and with clients. They handle everything. We just kind of sit back and watch. It's great. They're very good.
I think one of the growth aspects there is that sometimes you see an Indonesian mentality is like, don't do anything if the boss doesn't tell you to do anything, and you don't take responsibility for something that you aren't asked to do. I think we've gone way beyond that, where there's a solution-driven mindset on what can I do right here and right now to move all of us forward? What can I do to complete a certain topic and a task that has got stuck somewhere? And they're picking up on the loose ends all over the place and pulling it together. So that's
they very much picked up on the concepts behind this rebranding. Really, it was almost like it was almost like it wasn't anything new for them. It was like, okay, we'll just go ahead and do it. It reminded me very much of a time when I was teaching for different hotels, teaching a course called Creating Truly Memorable Experiences, and it was a course to do with customer journeys and customer experiences. And it was based around the idea of love, care, empathy, spirituality, and creativity, and that's what I was trying to teach hotel staff. But whenever I started my classes out with a new group of people, I would start them out by saying, good morning, my name is Andy, and I am not your teacher today. And everyone would look around the room and say, well, what do you mean you're not the teacher? Aren't you supposed to be teaching us something? And my response to that was, I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm just here to help you remember stuff that you already know, but you may have forgotten. So I'm just here to help you remember. And it was very much that feeling with these legal teams. These guys knew. We gave them the opportunity to show that, and we gave them the opportunity to grow into a particular field and skill set and expertise set that maybe they wouldn't have found in a different place.
I think that's an exercise we've experienced where we're no longer a real estate company, but we have a real estate division. And one of the challenges we always had with real estate was the mindset and the mentality, where the company felt that it did a lot and the agents did a lot, and it was kind of difficult to find the right sort of frequency and committed people that was going to go the extra mile for themselves and for the company, to a stage where we're now left with just one or two agents and have been very loyal the whole way and will continue to be loyal into the future. But I think with that too, it takes us into the bone of what we want to be in terms of real estate, and we can grow a new culture or our culture with new people coming in, and that's been a problem for us. We've always wanted to be nice to people, so we gotten everyone, and we've given everyone opportunity, and that's probably been one of our biggest mistakes, if any. But that's also been a learning experience for us, that we try to. People that might want to be in Bali and they can't sustain themselves, they don't have a job, and we give them a job, we give them a training, and in the end we feel we get a little bit abused. We don't mind people growing and moving into the next level of their lives, and we've seen that before in other companies that we've been, that people have moved on with their own offices and so on, and that's all good and great. But I think for us it's a fresh start on that aspect of it too, where we can set the mentality. And we've had a few job interviews. Actually today we had an interview with people who came for that very reason. They think we're nice people that can give them a base of doing good and doing well, I guess. Yeah,
that still stands as your main backbone, I guess. Do good, do well.
Do good, do well.
Always in that order.
Yeah.
Something interesting that we briefly touched on the first episode that I think can be brought up here again is your last names. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Perhaps we shall answer that mystery.
We didn't tell you our names. My surname is Barski. It's Polish. So both my parents were Polish. But I was born in the UK, in a town called Nottingham. Robin Hood, Sherwood Forest, all that sort of stuff.
That's actually not the full truth, Andy.
It's not all of the truth, is it, Joe?
We'll leave that for
that
the
could
third.
be the third episode.
Third episode, yeah.
Okay, so that's great. Then you guys have a lot of positive mindset then, and very positive, eco-conscious, sustainable future, and being the change instead of talking about the change. And you're open to conversations, I would assume?
Definitely. Definitely. We love conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, again, from my teaching background and stuff, the idea of conversations is very connected with listening. And it's not necessarily telling somebody what your opinion is, it's very much listening to what they've got to say, genuinely listening to what they've got to say. So it means you've got to be in that now, you've got to be in that moment, rather than have an answer already prepared that you're going to say regardless of what you talk to me about. So conversations we love people coming from left field and presenting ideas and opinions about stuff that we hadn't even considered. It's great.
You can directly send those conversations, thoughts and opinions to the website.
You can use our sort of generic email address, which is hello@sevenstonesindonesia.com.
Or you can send an email to barskilovskovsky@sevenstonesindonesia.com.
Spell it.
Yeah, so you can reach us directly at the website, the email. We have an Instagram, LinkedIn profile. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Let us know if you have any not so controversial opinions or any other conversation topics regarding this or real estate or legal.
Or Bali and Indonesia in general.
Yeah.